I have a 2009 Honda Pilot, and today I'm going to be doing an oil change. I will show you how to do an oil change on a 2009. And I guess first up, get your oil. I use Castrol 5-weight 20. It's a full synthetic, and a Fram 7317 filter. I ain't brand loyal. I use what I can find. So it's what works. I have had this thing since about 38,000 miles, and it's got about 110 on it now, so it's obviously I'm doing something right. It's still going, don't have problems. So, alright, first step, I guess, besides getting your shit together, take your oil pan underneath, locate your engine oil plug. In the 2009 Pilot, it's pretty fucking easy. It says engine oil right there. And the nut, I don't even have to jack the vehicle up. I do this just right on the ground. So, I mean, if you're bigger than me, then you can jack it up. I don't give a shit. But there's your bolt. I think it's 17. So give me a second. Let me twist this shit around so you're not looking at it upside down. Which you probably are. So anyways, there. Maybe that's a better view. So, it's not hard to do underneath, but take your wrench, put it on there, and loosen it up. Once you loosen your bolt, put your pan underneath so you can catch it. Now, if it's a little too tight, you may have to use a hammer, which I did. I bashed my finger for it, but whatever. But there you go. Let it drain out in your pan. Alright, while that's draining, pop your hood and open up your oil cap. And if you were ever in doubt, it says it right on there for what oil to use. So once you open your cap, I'm actually going to go and turn my tires, which you should turn before you even start your oil change, because I can't use the power steering because obviously my oil is draining out, so I can't turn the car on. So yeah, I turn the tires though so that I can access, as you can see right there, my oil filter. And I use a this style wrench, oil filter wrench, because it's got the teeth and it just kind of grabs it so much easier. So let me see if I can get in there and show you how it goes on, how I do it. Okay, I gotta loosen it up a bit. Alright, so give me a second. Alright, well, once you get your wrench on, give it a turn, and then make sure your pan is underneath it. I made a mess already, so, but just unscrew that, and it's gonna leak. Get your oil filter off. Let it drain in that pan underneath. I like to empty it out just so when I toss it, it doesn't get all over the garbage that I'm using. But yeah. And now before I put the new filter on, I'm gonna take a little bit of this. I'm gonna make the two rubber edges. I'm just gonna tap the two ends together, rub it on, just so that there's a little bit of oil on the new the rubber of the filter, the new filter. So I'm gonna make sure that that's not just like a dry rubber touching up against the where it goes. But I mean, it's not like it's gonna matter too much. That's gonna be full of grease anyways. But it's just I do it every time anyway. So I'm gonna put the new filter back on. And actually, this is what I mean. What I was talking about a second ago. Just take them, rub them together like that. Just get that edge, a little bit of oil on it before you install it. Okay, I got my filter on now, and I only do it hand tight as tight as I can go, and I've never had a problem. The extra oil, that's extra undercoating, whatever. And now I'm gonna put my plug back in. Now the Honda Pilots, they'll come with they recommend you swap out this crush ring. It's like a added washer that goes on your oil pan. And I've replaced it maybe twice, and that's, you know, you look at it, if you're not like hammering the damn thing on, there's no reason that crush ring's really going to get destroyed. So just keep an eye on it, look at it, inspect it before you put your plug back in. You obviously don't want nothing leaking out. So this one still looks good, so I'm going to reuse it. But if you want to replace it, they're pretty cheap anyway, so a couple bucks, you know, you can just replace it. But like I said, I just keep an eye on it when I do my oil changes. So I'm going to put this back in now. Alright, and as you can see, the plug's back in. Here's my filter. We're done on this end. I mean, minus cleaning up your shit. So right now, I'm gonna go up on top and get my filter to run it down the side. I'll show you in a second. Because this, it's pretty hard to just kind of dump on there. I mean, it's hard to see, but you need a long, skinny sort of filter. So I'll be right back. I gotta get my filter, or not filter, funnel. My bad. Gotta get my funnel. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I couldn't find my long one, but I got a regular funnel. I just kind of squeezed it down in there, and just take my bottle, put it on top of the valve cover, and just go slow. You know, just make sure you don't get it all over. And go slow and fill your oil up. Check your dipstick. Make sure the level reads correct. You know, you start your motor up when your oil level reads where it's supposed to be, and then you check your oil again. You may have to put another, a little bit in, because some of it will, go inside that oil filter. So you probably have to put a little bit more in there, but it should take about 4.5 quarts or so of oil. And after I'm done, doing my oil change, I will take pictures of, my bottle, my filter, and my mileage for my, take a picture of my dash. And I just post mine on Facebook so that I can go back in my albums and see when the last time, how many miles, and when's, the date that I actually did my last oil change. So for me, that's just a helpful little tip, for how I keep track of my oil changes too. So after time as well, how many oil changes you've done, in the course of the ownership of this vehicle. So yeah, pretty basic. Obviously I can do it, anyone can do it. So save yourself some money. About 20 bucks for a 5 jug oil, a few bucks for a filter, and if whatever filter, whatever oil you want to use, that's up to you. This is just a little tutorial of how to do it. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you like, subscribe. I do a bunch of random shit on my channel. So follow along, subscribe, whatever. And thank you for watching. Bye. One last thing. In page 462 of your manual, to reset your light, you go hit your button until you see where it says your oil life is left. And in the manual, it'll tell you, select your thing, press the select reset knob for about 10 seconds. The engine light will, life and maintenance thing will blink. Then you press it for another 5 seconds. I think it was like 10 and 10, but let's give it a shot. There's our thing. Hold it for 10 seconds. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. And then hold it for another 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this counting's kind of dumb. So let's see if it'll switch to oil life 100%. May have to try it a couple times. There we go. And as you can see, your oil life monitor thing is all reset. So you don't have to worry about your little wrench light or whatever going on when it's telling you you're due for an oil change. Alright, thanks for following.